4 months removed, and the heat has been turned all the way up. It's 100 degrees in Omaha, and if you think that feels warm, try playing under the blazing hot spotlight of the pressure to win your school's first baseball national championship. That's what's on the line tonight for Texas A&M and Tennessee.
Anyone's list of how has this college baseball team never won it all has to include Tennessee and Texas A&M. Tonight, one will finally be crowned as champion.
300 teams when the season begins. A bracket of 64 is now down to its final 2. Tonight's the breaking point. That ball is hammered, and that may end the 0.
Tennessee held off elimination in a Game 2 grind, thanks to gutsy pitching.
Being a strikeout machine right now.
Big orange bats.
Driven to left field. It's out of here.
Every kid dreams about playing at this stage. Being able to do that, late in the game like that was something I'll never forget.
For the Aggies, the 12th man means every man as they go for broke to avenge Sunday's
Replay Poker. As many of you have seen, because I've streamed it before,
of waiting. One will finally be the last team standing, and they are ready. The NCAA Men's College World Series Finals, Game 3.
Welcome to a sweltering Omaha, Nebraska, the 2024 Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. Our headlines through the course of this week have been pretty simple. It's about these two teams, and they are both trying to do something they haven't done. It's all about the SEC. For the third time in the last 4 years, they're the last conference standing. First title in school history for either one of these. First #1 seed if Tennessee can win since 1999. And a whole bunch of guys are going to be on the field tonight that we will eventually see on Major League Baseball diamonds, not too distant future. It is Texas A&M at 53-14. The Volunteers are looking for their 60th win of the season. And if they get it, they will be national champions just like A&M. Welcome, everybody. It gets no better than this. They can say, going to treat it like just another game. It is the furthest thing from just another game. It's tonight everybody will remember forever. That, of course, is Chris Burke, Kyle Peterson, the voices of college baseball, Chris Budden in just a moment. KP, the offense for Tennessee has kind of been percolating the last couple of days. Is it ready to boil over?
It sure seems like it. I mean, it started to yesterday. For this Tennessee team, if you look at it during the season, it's built on home runs. How about 182 of them, just 6 shy of the single-season record that LSU set 1997. 2 more last night at a time they really needed it. A 2-run shot by Dylan Dreiland in the 7th inning gave Tennessee their first lead. Then Cal Stark would add another 2-run shot later on to make it a 4-run game. 52% of the runs that this Tennessee team scores are from the home run. All 4 last night. And these two seemingly are in the middle of it when Tennessee is scoring runs.
No doubt about it, KP. All right, Berkey, you talk about this A&M pitching staff. Through 10 games in the tournament, an ERA just north of 3. They've been even better in the College World Series. And a lot of times you get to this game, you don't have the guy you want. A&M has the guy they want.
They do. Maybe not the guy they thought when they started the College World Series, but he has emerged as a star for the Aggies. Justin Lamkin came into Game 1 as an opener, and he has done nothing but been spectacular. 8 innings, 15 strikeouts, 3 innings in his first start, 5 scoreless innings in his second start. He came as an opener. He might leave as a legend.
Are you ready for Game 3, winner take all here in Omaha? And man, this town has produced so many memories. One more to come.
We gave it more passenger space for ultimate comfort. We elevated the design, and with Google built-in, we made its tech intuitive. With the all-new Prologue, we've made it easy to go electric. Just like you'd expect from a Honda. The Prologue, everything you love about Honda.
And how about a fancy
Without the fancy steakhouse prices.
Yeah, join the club.
I just want to feed this bod wild-caught salmon like it deserves.
Join the club.
Yeah, join the club and save on fresh, sustainably sourced seafood.
I work out a lot, so that's helpful.
Cool. Download the Sam's Club app to get your fresh ingredients today. Sam's Club.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Row. Connect with the provider today at row.co/20.
Any response to the trade rumors we keep hearing about?
Oh, we talking about moving? Not the trade. Not the trade. We talking about moving. No, thank you.
You could use Open Door. Sell your house directly to them. It's easy.
I guess we're moving.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Tell the people why you haven't done it. Started off as a chip, and it just keeps going. So what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair.
SafeLight Replace.
Yes!
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
Only from SimpliSafe, 24/7 lifeguard protection. This exclusive technology allows SimpliSafe agents to help stop crime in real time.
Stop. Police are on their way.
For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
The NCAA Men's College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Whole bunch of volunteer luminaries here tonight, including Peyton Manning and Josh Heupel, Rick Barnes, KB. They want to see history tonight.
They do, and in a game filled with superstitions, you're bound to have some curses. There's the curse of the Billy Goat, the Bambino. In the college game, it's the curse of the number ones. No number one seed has won it all since '99. Something the Vols are rather sick and tired of hearing about.
One time since the format began in 1999. As the number one overall seed won the title, that was Miami.
I guess I'm a good person and not believe in curses. I just think it's difficult in general, and whoever does end up winning it has their own backstory.
I know it's a thing, but I just know we have to take care of, what we have right now and just take it one day at a time.
I mean, being on the 22 team where we were ranked number one as well, I guess it's just how baseball works. Baseball's such a day-to-day, week-to-week game where anybody can be beat.
Ravi, speaking of 1999, it was a pretty good year for Tennessee. The football team won the Fiesta Bowl January 4th, 1999. That was the last men's major national championship the schools won.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a few folks here in the booth that remember that game. That was the Peerless Price game. He was the quarterback. Back on the mound tonight, Xander Sechrist. He's the senior, 6'2", $193 out of Buford, Georgia. They will chase his changeup. It's elite.
It is elite, and the control is elite, excuse me, as well. He's been their most consistent starter all year. How about this? A 3.22 ERA this year, a lifetime ERA in his 4 years at Tennessee of a 2.54. He's been incredibly consistent, and he was good in his first start here in Omaha.
All right, boys and girls. Chris, let's take a look at our batting order. It's brought to you by Capital One. Grahovac's left the yard. It looks like Laviolette, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury, got healthy yesterday. A couple hits, including a homer. And Caden Kent's been a big story through the course of this World Series as he plays for the injured superstar Braden Montgomery. You see his numbers right there. It is warm, as we've told you, about 98 degrees. The wind is blowing a little bit right to left. Van Sechrist, who for the most part during his career has been a midweek starter, has emerged here on the weekend and certainly on this stage. We're almost set for first pitch between Tennessee and A&M with a national championship on the line. Sechrist looks around, makes sure his infield and outfield are where they should be, and he's ready to deliver. The first pitch of the winner-take-all Game 3. And as he does, it's in there for a strike. Prohovac is a huge, huge kid. He's the third baseman, only a freshman, hitting a .182 here in the World Series with a double and a homer.
White.
A&M was 7 outs away on Sunday from winning it all, and then the Volunteer bats showed up. There is a man. Took a whole bunch of TCU teams here, and when he did, it was really built by his recruiting coordinator, who happens to be the head coach on the other side, Tony Vitello. Gets the call down low. We're even at 2-2. And Vitello sends out the same lineup he did. You saw Christian Moore, the second baseman, come out of that game late yesterday. He is in the starting lineup. He is at second base. And Prohovac sends this one down the line in right. It is right along that foul line, and there is one man out as Kavares Tears was there to make the play.
Wind's going to make a difference tonight. Coming in from right, it's blowing pretty good, and when it gusts, it is coming straight in from that right field wall. Probably help keep that ball fair right there and not blow it into the stands.
Yeah, going to be tough to ride one out of here to right field. This man can do it right here, though. This is the kind of strength that can cut through the wind.
6'6", 230, Katy, Texas. A sophomore, Laviolette, who's likely to break every home run record at A&M. He's got 29 of them already. 72-mile-an-hour pitch in there for strike one. College baseball, you are allowed to shift, unlike Major League Baseball, so they have 3 on the right side of the infield.
Down.
We got umpires wearing microphones. We got umpires wearing cameras. Grady Smith is calling balls and strikes tonight. Ball. 2.
Hear that take? Jace Laviolette calling ball. Grady Smith did not agree.
I heard.
And Xander Sechrest doing what he's been doing for the last 5 weeks or so, which is just absolutely painting at the bottom of the zone.
The 1-2.
What?
2-2. He threw it right where his catcher Cal Stark wanted it, a little too far outside, testing the zone of the umpire.
He will live away to both righties and lefties, and you can see Cal Stark sitting a good 6-8 inches off the plate. They're just fine with that one being off.
Down.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The hat comes flying off as Xander Sechrest's head. 6 1/3 against Florida State Wednesday. 3 NCAA games started for Got him there. And they're at 2 down as he catches Laviolette out front swinging at it.
He's been rolling, KP, and the big part of it is ability to decelerate the fastball. The college game has so much turned into a power arm game, but Sechrest has found his niche, slowing the baseball down. You'll see a breaking ball that'll be into the upper 60s at times. And
Goes a little something like this.
You know, everyone has their own story. There's one patient that comes to mind. She was an avid rock climber. And
portal in this game. That one's down. It's 1 ball and a strike.
What I love about Sechrest too is he's not he's not going to throw a fastball above 90 probably tonight, maybe 91, but yet he uses the fastball very effectively and is not afraid to pound the zone with it.
Appel on the ground to second. Moore charges. He has time, and he will make the play. Good first inning for Sechrest. He goes 1, 2, 3, and the Vols will come to the plate when we come back.
ESPN Plus. It's the spot for the NCAA, MLB, UFC, 30 for 30s, all your favorite teams on any screen. Anywhere you need, ESPN Plus. It's in the ESPN app.
When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. My sport is a performance, so when my face is set, my mind is set, and I'm ready for anything.
And with Milani, when my face is set, my mind will follow.
You look fabulous.
No, you.
You!
It's Old Navy.
Building a home for the people who are worth it. Stepping out, throwing in a line, and dropping the tailgate for a picnic. And finding far-off campsites with the people you're closest to. Upgrade your truck, Jeep, or Bronco with over 1 million parts and accessories. And bring your truck to life. Real truck.
There you see Rick Barnes on the left. You got Peyton Manning. Heupel's up there somewhere as well. Talk about Rick Barnes, man. He has reloaded again after coming up just a little short last year with Connect and Ziegler. Both these schools are going to have teams in the top 25 when we get around to having college basketball, the SEC, locked and loaded again. Our Capital One batting order here. Moore, a superstar to start this whole thing off. And then Burke, who's been tremendous. Dreiling, right now you can't get him out.
No, and he's positioned himself. If Tennessee's able to win this one, we talked about Lamkin potentially being the most outstanding player. Certainly Dylan Dreiling would be in that mix. He has been so clutch for this team.
So's a left-hander, and he's been incredibly clutch during this College World Series. Coming in, I'm not sure if Texas A&M knew exactly what they were going to get from Justin Lamkin in his first start. His 2 starts here, he's got 8 innings. He's punched out 15. It's a low to mid-90s fastball. Relies on his slider. Good ride on the fastball. You'll see when he's right, that fastball is going to be at the top of the zone, but he hasn't had a string of back-to-back as good the entire season, really, as he's had here in Omaha.
And so Sunday, A&M used 5 pitchers. 4 of them made their first appearance in the World Series. Both of these teams have just about every weapon they want out of the bullpen. Cortez, who was phenomenal yesterday, will not be available for A&M, but for the most part, everyone else is. And this is the all-hands-on-deck game. That guy right there put on a display with his stuff, throwing 101+ miles an hour consistently. But that was yesterday. This is today. Here's Moore, the second baseman, hitting .409 here in Omaha. And this is light tower power. Call strike one. A little more velocity coming from Lamkin. Out of Corpus Christi, just a sophomore. This will be one of the names we hear when it comes to the Major League Baseball draft. Lamkin ahead 0-2. They set up high and away. Wait. He hit his spot, but it was too far out. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'm going to show you 3 pitches. He loves to throw the fastball up above the belt and then turn that changeup over. He'll throw a back foot slider on top of that as well.
That ball is pulled down the line, and it is out of here. What a start for the Vols as Moore leaves the yard. It's 1-0 Tennessee. There is a little bit of that light tower power, and we've seen already from Moore in this series. He hit for the cycle, the second ever to do it, and on that night he added a double, and he starts with a 2-strike shot to left.
Well, Justin Lamkin's been getting everybody out all week with this pitch. The fastball just above the belt. Simo looked like he was hunting it. He gets the barrel to the back of that baseball, and when he hits it square, it's a no-doubter. The Vols on the board first.
Exit velocity of 109 miles an hour. A 1-2-3 top half from Sechrist, and now they go up 1-0. Burke looks at a breaking pitch high, ball 1. He is a record holder with 34 and a career mark of 61. He is the emotional leader of this team. And a 1-0, swing and a miss. On the games that Moore hasn't hit, he has been in the middle of everything, and that was the case yesterday as well. Drew a big walk, looked at his bench, and that's what led to the homer, as this one is fouled back.
Yeah, I just think a good early sign, too, for the Tennessee bench. I'm sure they've been watching film of Lamkin all day long and seeing how many guys have come up empty on that fastball up above the belt. And for their leader to launch one to start the gate will give everybody in that dugout confidence.
All right, let's see. He's working ahead again. 1-2. And that one is into right. That's going to get down. And a couple of pitches left up. One left the building. And now the top two have each gotten a hit.
Two pretty good approaches from two of the best hitters in all of college baseball right there. Slider that just kind of hangs out over the plate. Blake Burke keeps that barrel in the zone about as long as anybody in the country. Was it long enough there to hook it down the right field line? Solid contact to start for both Christian Moore and Blake Burke.
And already the cheering section for the Orange. Rocky Top up, standing, and clapping. Billy Amick is the three-hole hitter. He's the third baseman. Amick has been terrific all season, struggling a little bit here in the World Series. 5 for 21.
There you go. That's what Lamkin needs, right? He's got to be able to throw his fastball. It's his best pitch. And for him to be able to challenge right there in a 1-0 count and get a uncomfortable swing, that might get him settled in.
Left side of the infield, Grahovac, Camarillo as they throw behind Burke, who has stolen 11. Caden Kent's at second. Ted Burton at first with Appel behind the plate. Sorrell, Chestnut, Laviolette in the outfield left to right. Leadoff home run, Christian Moore, as we're just underway at a winner-take-all game 3.
Good one there. That's the changeup that Lamkin can, when he gets on top of it, has that good sink. I think the other important thing for Lamkin, just because they lean on a fastball early, you can't go away from who you are. That fastball up is who he is.
They've gotten 2 hits with 2 strikes. And Lamkin finds himself ahead in the count 1-2. Dylan Dreiling on deck. He's got a couple of homers here already and a quality at bat nearly every time up. Nobody out. And this one is playable. Here comes the center fielder Chestnut, still coming. And now he will stop. Burke way off first base. Didn't know if anybody was going to get there, and he retreats. And that brings up a guy who's beginning to cast his name in legendary status for the Vols when it comes to World Series. 2 homers. They talk about his heartbeat, and yesterday post-game, nobody seemed surprised at what Dreiling has been able to do. The draft-eligible sophomore hitting .422, 5 homers, 12 RBIs in the tournament.
Well, and it was this man right here that when the weight of the scoreless game was starting to build, he's the one that busted it open. And they were just waiting. You could feel it for somebody to come up with a clutch swing of the bat, and it was Dreiling that delivered.
Yeah, he has been captain clutch. Did it against Florida State. That one missed. 2 balls, no strikes. You watch these games, and you can tell, guys, certain players, their takes on the pitchers are more comfortable than others, and Dreiling seems very comfortable.
He seemed pretty comfortable with everybody since he showed up.
Yeah.
About a week and a half ago. They've been very in control at bats for the most part from Dreiling. There's still plenty of power in there.
Out of Hayes, Kansas. And a 4-pitch walk. Means first and second for Hunter Ensley. And with an offense as potent and capable as Tennessee, they got a chance to put a crooked number on the board early, and that's going to bring Max Weiner, the pitching coach for A&M, out to talk to Justin Lamkin.
Well, Justin Lamkin, we talked about it right from the jump. I mean, this is a guy that has literally carved his way through 2 appearances here at the College World Series. Been very low stress, 8 innings, only 5 base runners. So a leadoff home run. Now you already have 2 guys aboard. This is not the situation he's found himself in over the last couple outings. And so Max Weiner's got to go out there and slow him down and try to instill the confidence of what they've seen from him his last 2 times out.
That's a critical number. Those 2 appearances you're talking about both came against the Gators. Against all other SEC teams this season, the ERA is higher than 8. Are there any similarities between Florida's offense and Tennessee's offense that would lead you to think Lamkin can pitch the same way and have the same success, or not?
Well, I think there's more diversity and more depth in this lineup. Both of them rely on the home run. But I think this Tennessee lineup is a little scarier, especially at the bottom part.
Here is the junior Hunter Ensley out of Huntington, Tennessee. Had one of the highlight reel catches of this World Series early in the week. He's got 2 on, and a first pitch. He swings at and misses on a changeup at 83. Home run from Moore to get things jump started. Ensley a 300 average, a homer, 3 RBIs at Omaha.
That's one.
Pretty good start to this sequence.
What do you think the percentage of times is that a pitching coach goes out and all of a sudden things
get locked back in?
Seem to get better?
Very high. And you can tell Ensley's been ready to hit, but not only does he come out and throw 2 strikes after the meeting, but 2 strikes with off-speed pitches. And Ensley barely caps that second one. Now this is where Lampkin's been, where he slowed the bat down a couple times. This is where that high fastball can really be effective.
You know, he'd love to get a ground ball. You saw already here in the first, Josh Stewart is warming in that bullpen. Swing and a miss, and a much better at bat that time for Lamkin as Ensley is gone, and now there are 2 down.
Obviously the outcome is good there, but I like the pitch calls because so often when guys get excited on the mound, you speed everything up going to home plate. Well, the easiest way to slow you down is if you throw off speed pitches, because you have to. Your body has to slow down some. That's 3 straight, all down and out of the zone. Ensley couldn't hold off of any of them. It's the first strikeout of the night for Justin Lamkin.
Well, we learned that from Sechrist in the top of the first. Slow things down. But he went 1, 2, 3. Left on left for Kavares. Tears the right fielder. Swings at the first one, sends this towards foul territory. Grahovac can't see it, and now the shortstop Camarillo's going over, and nobody's gonna get it. The first look from the third baseman was, I have no idea where it is, and then both Sorrell, the left fielder, and Camarillo picked it up. Look at Grahovac right away.
He didn't see it. He didn't see it. And this is where that wind does play a factor, because it's spinning away. It's going to take it even further away from Alec Camarillo. And the third baseman, Gavin Grahovac, he didn't see it off the bat. And I think Camarillo understood the only guy that's got a chance to make this play is him. He put his head down, but just wasn't able to get there in time. Off the bat looked like maybe A&M's off the field. Instead, a really dangerous Kavares Tears still standing there.
Yeah. Big foul territory here at Charles Schwab Field, both first and third baseline. Next pitch to Tears, that's down. And we have seen World Series change on fly balls that are not caught in foul territory.
Well, and it's always a part of the storyline here on bright sunny days, the left side of the field, because it is bearing down on that part of the park.
Burke is at second, Dreiling at first. That one missed as well. 2 balls and a strike. Feels like such a big part of the game. We're only in the first for both Lamkin to get out of it and Tennessee to add to it. And Tears, slow roller, getting over there to cover Lamkin on the underhand flip from his first baseman Burton. And at least in that mini battle, Lamkin survives. Moore exit stage left to get it going.
It's a primetime dude right here. Simo getting the party started for the Vols with a bomb to left Tennessee strikes first.
Time is luxury. Who you spend it with, what you spend it doing, why we spend so much time designing and refining, creating the...
To the left.
Hey, let me vibe for a minute. Hey, way too high when I'm in it. Hey, let me vibe, let me vibe, let me vibe. Hey, let me vibe, let me vibe, let me vibe. Hey, let me vibe for a minute. Hey, way too.
It's illegal to drive while high, and you risk getting a DUI. Don't drive high.
These are all keepers. Store more, share more. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us and get a great deal on iPad and Apple Watch SE. Connect with AT&T.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch. For Gerald? Well, okay. So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Well, I try not to think about home insurance too complicated.
Actually, Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
It's that easy to save?
Yep. And you get Allstate.
Oh, well, that's a step up. Goodbye, Gerald.
Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hey, Tom, we have teams from the same conference meeting in the championship round of this World Series. 6-time those teams have been from the SEC, and the winner will give the conference their 16th baseball title and 10th since 2009. It was the Horned Frogs in 2012. They began a pretty good, successful run with Schlossnagle as the head man and Tony Vitello as his assistant. Elander is there as well, and now Vitello and Elander are on the same staff. Tony then went to Arkansas, and Tennessee loved what he was doing there, so he is now their head man, and they love him in Knoxville. He is a rock star. As Hayden Schott is up now and looks at a slow pitch in there for strike one. Schott's the DH. And he just reached out and served that into left field. He will be aboard. Hayden Schott with his 7th hit of this World Series.
And for all of the power in this A&M lineup, and there's plenty of it, nobody has more hits on the year than that guy. Hayden Schott, the graduate transfer from Columbia, took a first pitch. It was off the plate, but called for a strike. And this time knows he's probably got to protect a little bit more. Lets it travel, shoots it to left for the first hit of the night for the Aggies.
And Schott also has been hampered by a hamstring. On some level, it is amazing that A&M has gotten this far, given the injuries to their Saturday starter and their superstar Montgomery, and yet they continue to play well as that one misses away. 1-0 to Ted Burton, the first baseman. That is Braden Montgomery. We will see him in the major leagues in a couple of years. And that is a massive presence that is not in this lineup. 1-0, this one into left. Heading back, Ensley. He will be there to make the running catch shy of the track. There is one down.
Okay, that's a couple barrels in a row now, and they need Ted Burton to drive the baseball. That ball's hit pretty stinking good out there in the left center field. I thought it was going to carry a little bit more, and it just didn't really get going.
I thought it got in on him just enough. Just enough, but yeah, if Ted Burton gets it, he can run it out of here. But both approaches this inning right on the barrel for the Aggies.
Xander Sechrist has one out. He's thrown 18 pitches. There's not a huge threat to run there at first in Schott. Here's the left fielder, Caden Sorrell. He comes in having a very productive College World Series, over 360 with the double and a homer. He's just a freshman, and as far as foundation pieces for the next couple of years, this is going to be one of them at A&M.
Yeah, this is a kid with a really high ceiling. The body's still got a ton of filling out to do, but he's already made a pretty big splash here in his first trip through the league.
It's a massive outfield. And he swings and sends this one to center field. That sends Ensley back. And just like that, if you're going to live in the deepest part of this ballpark, that's a graveyard for baseballs, especially tonight.
That's a pretty good night to do it. If you're a fly ball guy and it's heading out towards center field, probably a pretty good chance that guy's going to run it down.
Well, and that's just something you don't see the Aggies do a whole lot first time through the order. They don't typically make first pitch outs or really even offer at the first pitch. So you can bet Camarillo is going to have a patient at bat right here. Jim Schlossnagle loves to make the pitcher work, especially first time through.
Camarillo is the junior shortstop, just $176. He's got 3 hits here, and that is in there for a strike at 87. Remember yesterday there was high frustration for the Volunteers guys. The leadoff hitter was on base 4 times in the first 6 innings. They didn't get a run. Here's A&M with their leadoff man on, and now 2 down.
Nope.
Camarillo is one of those guys that has had the opportunity to play both at the Little League World Series with the team from Chula Vista and here at the College World Series. The crowd has filled in nicely on a very hot, humid day in Omaha. Temperature still around 98 degrees. Sechrist on a 1-2 set up way outside. That's where he goes.
All fastballs in this at bat. 4 straight heaters.
And all away. Just away. And Sechrist may surprise you in late in the count sometime, but for the most part, he's going to try to run everything away from both righties and lefties.
2-2 to Camarillo, 3-2. It's away. The crowd, who didn't have the viewpoint we did, including that guy, Tony Vitello. See where maybe from a different angle it might look like a strike, but it wasn't.
No, that ball's out. And Tony asked Cal Stark what he thought, and Cal Stark verified it to his skipper. That ball's off the plate.
Caden Kent on deck on a 3-2, and he got him to chase. Really good start for Xander Sechrist. Ball's got 1. They're coming up for the second time when we come back.
Ooh, $3.99 and stuffed with pepperoni and cheese.
You want Crazy Puffs fast? You go with Hot and Ready.
Now I have time for more summer fun.
Go long! Ah! Walk in for $3.99 hot and
on Pathfinder Rock Creek.
The game is changing, but what drives the game never will. What you have inside. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything. It turns an athlete into a legend. It demands respect. The game will always change, but it never will. Gatorade, is it in you?
At Cracker Barrel, we're putting a little sting in every bite of our fried chicken. But our new sweet heat sauce will have you saying, ooh, not ow. What are you waiting for? Buzz on in and try it. And now, get here early for deals on dinner classics.
Cal Stark is my guy. That's my guy.
That's what you want when you coach a team, is you want a guy who's an extension of you on the field.
That ball is driven to left field. He's watching, so is everyone else. It's out of here.
He's a fighter. He does everything he's asked of, and he's what every teammate wants.
The Knoxville native was 0 for 16 before hitting that 2-run home run yesterday. And Vitello gets emotional when talking about him. He says, I see so much of myself in him. Because he's not the best player out there, but he's a guy that I trust. And for a local kid who grew up watching Tennessee baseball to be able to help his team be 1 win away from a national championship, he told me yesterday, was a dream.
Yeah, and there they are. There's Stark right behind Vitello, who's on the top step. It's 1-0. Here's Dean Curley. He's the shortstop. And that's in there for a strike, 1-1.
Well, and for all the struggles on offense, he changed the game yesterday on defense. I mean, the back pick was one of the biggest plays in the game. And then, oh, by the way, the 2-run homer to get his bat going.
Quietly, the freshman shortstop's had a massive College World Series as he swings and misses, hitting .368 with a double, 3 RBIs. And, you know, the prototypical shortstop now has just gotten bigger and bigger, whether he stays there or not, but he fills the uniform out. Good take. He thought about it.
Lamkin tried to go backdoor slider right there, and close enough that you get an offer on that one sometimes, but a good take by the freshman.
Curly, Peebles, Stark, 7, 8, 9 here in the bottom of the second, and then back to the top for Moore, who homered to lead off the game. That's way outside as well. And I brought that up, KP, last half. And this is kind of a shirt-off day with a fan, if you can find one.
That's
Don't chew on that one, Big
KP. Don't get any ideas.
It is pure joy.
Back up the middle. What a job by Lamkin to snare that. And there is one down. So, KP, pitcher, you had 2 on. You were kind of on the ropes, and they only allowed the home run. How much carryover is there? We do have that axiom in baseball. You better get the pitcher early or he can settle in.
Yeah, I mean, I think confidence level's way high for Lamkin, and you get your bell rung with the first guy, and then you come back and work yourself out of a jam, and that gets that confidence level back up. The environment's not going to wow him today. He's already been out there twice in this tournament, and I think he'll give him a chance.
Anna Peebles, the DH. He's only had a couple of plate appearances here out of Ashland, Virginia, at 5'11", $194. And then Stark is on deck. They will shift on the infield. Caden Kent moves to the shortstop side of the bag. Oh, and 2.
That's the one he seems to have the most comfort with right now, is that slider.
See if he comes again with it a little lower on the back foot of the righty. No, went outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It feels as though, and this might have been the plan coming into it, it feels as though since the home run by Moore, it's been very off-speed heavy. Almost as if Max Wiener maybe just feels like they are really come into this game hunting that high fastball.
2-2, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And that would be the book on Lamkin if you're coming in. Hey, force that fastball down. He's going to use it. And he's had great success on the fastball this year. Fastball up. Guys are hitting about 160 against him. They don't get to it very often.
3-2 to the 8th hitter, who has not yet gotten a hit here in Omaha. He fouled that one off.
Peebles back in the lineup at the DH after 3 walks yesterday. He's got 4 in limited plate appearances here in Omaha. Has not done any damage necessarily from a hit standpoint, but has found himself on the bag.
Swing and a miss. He pulled the string there, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Lamkin.
He's almost using that slider like a changeup. I mean, the velocity difference isn't enough. The velocity on the slider and the changeup are about identical. You can see the dot. It didn't come back that much, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in that situation. It's the velocity difference that gets Peebles out in front of it.
Not a ton of sweep to that slider, but like you're saying, KP, from a reaction standpoint, he's just really using it just simply to get him off the fastball and out in front.
As Chris Button pointed out, Stark was 0 for 16 before the big fly yesterday, and he starts him off with the ball out. Christian Moore, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. What a thrill it is for Stark out of Knoxville, Tennessee, to be wearing the Vols uniform and trying to get that school its first championship.
Yes.
Interesting that they've gone soft against Stark. That's what he hit out yesterday, was a breaking ball from a left-hander. Lamkin trying to post a 0 here after 1 in the first. Aggie fans standing up to support.
Interesting, too. So the count, instead of 1-2, goes to 2-2. 20 seconds they have to begin the delivery and throw. Try to avoid seeing more again if you're Lamkin. 3-2. And that's out of play. Good job by Stark. Must do wonders for a player when your coach sits there and says, that's my guy. He's my guy. You're in an 0 for 16 and he's my guy.
Well, Cal Stark took a lot of heat last year because the bat didn't do a ton, but Tony Vitello has made it clear to everybody the defense and the leadership are worth some of the cold spells with the bat.
Way inside. That is a walk to Stark. And that will bring Christian Moore back to the plate. Good at bat by the catcher, Stark.
Good at bat, but that pitch clock violation figures into that right there.
Would agree.
I mean, you add a ball in the middle of it, misses. Instead of it being 3-2 right now, you walked a 9-hole hitter, and you got to deal with this guy with runner on base.
And small sample size here in Omaha, but he led off this game with a homer. Danny Higgins was the last to do that for the Tigers in '97 in a championship game. And he hit for the cycle earlier with the double. So let's see if he's that streak guy. Swings at that first one, looking for his second.
Back and challenged him with a fastball up to start it right away.
Almost the identical pitch he hit out of the ballpark.
Christian Moore will let you know, I take this very personally. It's me against that guy out there, and I'm going to win it. This one popped up, foul territory. Burton is there. He will make the play, and they get Moore, who didn't look like he saw that very well. Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. We have played 2 of the championship game. It's 1-0 Vols.
If you're not here for Fandom 101, you're in the wrong class. Here we
When I started my poker journey, I learned the hard way that was losing money. But now there's an easy way to get started and just play.
and the physics of out. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
It's so easy to get your windshield replaced using SafeLight. Why don't you just get it fixed? All right, so what do we do now? I've scheduled an appointment at SafeLight.com. Tell them to meet us here at the beach.
Schedule free mobile service at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
And that's because this soda, Poppy, has none of the bad stuff. Instead, it has all of the flavor. The future of soda is now, and it's called Poppy.
Former major leaguer, there's Jeff Kent. That is Caden, who is coming up. His dad, Mom Dana, right there to his left. What a career he had. 17 years in the bigs, 5-time All-Star. Bounced around, and on the teams he was on, he made a big-time impact. Check out the All-Star game in 2005. Caden going a little blue lollipop. Got the Dodgers uni on. And here we are, from 05 to 24. And for those just watching for the first time, given a championship game, Jeff will not show a ton of emotion. And Mom will. And this guy has been phenomenal in the tournament. Got inserted into the lineup when Montgomery went down, and he has been on fire in this tournament. He bats 8, Travis Chestnut 9. Then we go back to the top of the order in a 1-0 game in the third. Yep, takes a lot off that, man. It's like a lollipop curve coming in at 71.
That velocity difference is almost 20 miles an hour between a fastball and that one.
Ouch. That hurt. You can hear him. Ricky, as a hitter, is it easy or impossible to adjust to a pitch if you're sitting fastball and it's 71 miles an hour? Can you lay back and still get that?
Yeah, you definitely can. You just have to really set your sights on letting the fastball get deep. So that's why when people talk about facing guys that are crafty and guys that can really slow the ball down, everybody talks about hitting the fastball the other way, because you really have to bring your contact point almost inside your front foot so that you don't get caught fishing on that off-speed stuff.
The 1-2. That's fouled straight back. And this one is to left center field, and it is hanging up there, and a nice running catch for Dylan Dreiling. Hit pretty well by Kent, but it hung up there and blew towards the left fielder.
And that ball had double in the gap written all over it when it left Caden Kent's bat, but Dylan Dreiling saw it off the bat, and as you said, Ravi, the wind just rides it right back to him. This Tennessee outfield defense has been spectacular here in Omaha, and Dylan Dreiling taking another extra base hit away there with a fantastic read in the gap.
So Kent retired, and that is 4 in a row for Xander Sechrist as Travis Chestnut comes up. Breaking pitch in there for a strike to the outfielder who's hitting a .154 out of Pflugerville, Texas. He's just 5'7", 155.
Tennessee really anticipating the bunt for a hit here. Blake Burke is over and in. Billy Amick almost on the grass. And you see Burke, he's over because he's trying to take away that push bunt. You can tell they have prepped for what they're going to do if there's a push bunt. Burke's going to go for the ball, and Sechrist is going to have to beat him to the bag.
Late 1-2.
Sechrist doesn't hit the white of the plate very much. I mean, if he misses, he's just missing off. There's not too many that are in the middle third of the plate that he has thrown yet today.
How about a little 2-strike bunt?
Really?
Safe at first, and they throw it away. He's going to head to second. A 2-strike bunt from Chestnut, and he is in scoring position. You don't see that very often.
That was awesome. A 2-strike bunt for a hit. The defense obviously, once they get to 2 strikes, they're out of there. Nobody bunts for a hit with 2 strikes. Are you kidding me? Chestnut drops this down softly, kind of in no man's land, and really Cal Stark needs to put that one in his back pocket. Chestnut, one of the fastest players in college baseball, and once you have to run that far and throw it out of control, you're never going to throw him out. Blake Burke couldn't get there because Chestnut was between him and the baseball. And that's an extra 90 feet on an ill-advised throw.
That is a circle at bat.
100%.
Right there.
Wrote it down, circled, bunt. Now Grahovac. Ball 1, and the hat flies off of Sechrist's head again. The third or fourth time he's had to pick it up and put it back on.
It's a pretty violent head snap with Sechrist. It's a non-traditional move with his head as he comes through the release point. That hat just, it has a hard time staying on with that big league salad he's got rocking.
7th bunt for a hit by the guy behind him. He's going to third on the off-speed pitch. The throw down, and he is at third base. Travis Chestnut's speed and wheels have paid off. And that was a really good job, by the way, by Amick to make sure it didn't go into left field.
Yeah, Amick turns into a catcher at this point. Just block it and make sure it stays in front of you, because if that gets by with the speed of Chestnut, I mean, he can somersault home at that point. But he has changed the game with his feet in this third inning.
18 stolen bases now on the year. Grahovac swings and misses. It's 1-2.
When the fan bases are engaged, we got some real noise in the stadium right now. Chestnut has gotten everybody fired up.
Infield plays back. Grahovac trying to make contact. How about it, guys? I mean, when's the last time you've seen a two-strike bunt?
Not for a hit.
That worked. Yeah, I know, for a hit.
Not for a hit. I honestly can't remember one.
You may see it on a sack that they keep on.
Oh, yeah.
But no.
Grahovac hits that over the head of Amick. And Chestnut's going to score. It is 1-1. Gavin Grahovac drives him in.
All right, first time all year that A&M has bunted with 2 strikes, and it totally changed the offensive field. Chestnut gets on, uses his legs, and Grahovac does what he's done all year, just fires one to left.
KP, you talked about Sechrist doesn't throw a whole lot of balls in the middle of the plate. That one was a changeup that caught way too much of the plate, and the Aggies manufacture one with some really good baseball.
And just a little emotional flat start for them. That has changed. Here's Laviolette, and he looks at strike 1. Another one that caught a little more of the plate than Cal Stark wanted. He set up outside. For Grahovac, his 66th run batted in on the season. He gets the call on the corner. Good pitch. Game 1 of this series, in which they won 9-5, 8 of the 9 runs that they scored, A&M, came on 2-strike swings.
Yeah, big theme of game 1 is A&M take advantage of poorly executed 2-strike pitches.
0-2 and a spoil there by Laviolette.
I think sometimes, KP, we've talked about this a lot. Like sometimes you can be too much of a strike thrower.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to learn when you're ahead in the count to stretch the zone and try to force these hitters to not chase, because these guys are too locked in. You make a mistake with 2 strikes, they are going to make you pay.
29 home runs on the season for Laviolette. And a little squibber. First base unoccupied. They go to second, safe at second base. There was no play at first base, and Burke decided to go to second for the force, and everybody's safe.
There are times, and I don't know if Christian Moore can make this play or not, but there are times that Burke just goes too far. At this point, with a lefty on the mound, if he fields that ball, you are not getting it out at first base. The only chance that you would have is if Christian Moore can charge in and make that play. But with Burke, I mean, once you glove it, the only chance you have to go to second. There's no way, but you do it again, it's probably a good one to stay home on.
Right, Christian Moore came in there and was talking to the dugout. He thought the ball hit Laviolette on the swing. Doesn't look like we're going to get a review. I did not think it did live. No.
It's interesting too. That's the first time all night that Sechrist has intentionally thrown fastball in, and it was executed well. He put it exactly where he wanted to. Laviolette just hit it in a place that they couldn't do anything with it.
Longtime pitching coach Frank Anderson in his 7th year will come on out. What a quirky inning offensively. A 2-strike bunt, and then a steal of 30.
For us to make a run in the playoffs, it's beat the Warriors. Once we all put those pieces together, you just
42 miles an hour. Sechrist and Burke.
Yeah, and Moore's playing deep. Laviolette's such a powerful left-handed hitter. Moore's playing deep. I just don't know with how well Laviolette runs if that ball gets to Moore. I don't
know
think
if it does or not.
Yeah.
My point is, with Burke making that play,
that was it.
We eliminate
right.
the play at first base.
Right.
You fully eliminate it because nobody can get back to it.
That sets it up for Jackson Appel. Hovack is at second. Laviolette is at first. The first real jam for Sechrist. So again, it wasn't a big hit, but it was a two-strike hit for Laviolette. Back up the middle. Moore will take it himself, go to first, and a pretty play. Double play, Christian Moore, and that will end the inning. How about Travis Chestnut laying down a two-strike bunt, coming around to score? We're heading bottom three of a 1-1 championship game.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Row. Connect with a provider today at row.co/20.
USAA? You were in the military?
No, my grandpa was. He passed membership to my mom, then me.
Huh.
Yeah, if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served, they could pass it to you.
I'll check it out.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
When you choose a Blue Moon, everything becomes brighter. Crafted with Valencia orange peel and coriander, Blue Moon is made brighter.
And when I got there, they have the sushi like
This is Clem.
They're built like sushi, classy.
Clem's not a morning person,
I'm tasting it.
or a night person, or a people person. But he is, and I can solve this in 4 different ways person. And that person is impossible to replace. You need Clem. Clem needs benefits. Work with Principal so we can help you help Clem with a retirement and benefits plan that's right for him.
Sure, but I'm confident, you know.
Let our expertise round out yours.
But wait, there's Marco's. Turn up the heat with Marco's new fiery pepperoni pizza for just $8.99. With our new 3-pepper spicy cheese blend and crispy cupped pepperoni on an always golden crust. Try the whole fiery flavors menu for a limited time.
Welcome back to Omaha. You scan the crowd, you see A&M fans with the word good across their hats. That comes from a slogan of a former Navy SEAL, Jocko Willink. The idea behind it in a podcast that he had put together was that when something bad happens, there's always something good that comes out of it. And Jim Schlossnagle has used that with his team this year. You didn't get the job you want? Good. It gives you a chance to work harder. And so even for yesterday, when he got up on the podium after the game, it was, you lost that game? Good. It gives you a chance to play the game that you love one more day. We're not looking at this as we have to play another game. It's we get to play another game.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. And that's the same echo by Vitello and Tennessee. What an opportunity for these guys to be on this field in a winner-take-all showdown. First pitch away. This is a championship game for two schools that have never won a baseball championship. And there is such tradition and pride in these programs. As Ryan McGee said at the top, hard to believe that that hasn't happened yet. Burke rips this one to the gap. And it's going to get over the head of the center fielder. And Chestnut had no chance. That thing was ripped. And a double for Blake Burke to lead off the bottom of the third.
Well, that's another fastball that Tennessee gets the barrel to. This ball is absolutely compressed. A fastball right around the belt again. Blake Burke, as flat as you can move the barrel, centers that one up and cuts it through a 15-mile-an-hour wind into center field. The ball's got the leadoff man on in scoring position.
No chance for Chestnut to get it. And here is Amick. Be a good answer for the Vols after A&M scored their first run of the game. You notice anything with Amick swing? Because he's been so good all year.
He looks in between to me. Yesterday there was a lot of taking. Today, the fact he comes up there and swings and misses at first pitch off speed pitch, I think is actually a good sign that he's at least ready for the fastball.
Grounder, and now on contact, heading to third is Burke. They will throw across the diamond, and Camarillo will get him out.
That's a pretty good read by Burke right there. Because it's reading ultimately where Grohovac started at third base and what his break was. Because generally, ball to your right there, you're not going to go. But knowing that there's no chance Grohovac can get back to third base, his baseball knowledge is off the charts good. Sometimes it's too good when he's at first base. But it's little stuff like that. He doesn't run great. Runs fine, but
that's stealing.
Great.
Yeah,
that's just a really good. That's a really good baseball play.
Puts himself in position now to score on a sac fly, and here's Dreiling, who walked his first time up. He's been their best hitter, and he sends that one back.
I think Blake Burke, he plays the game with a fearlessness. You see it on defense, that he's not thinking about messing up. He's thinking about making a play. And as you said, KP, even though he's not a burner, he reads balls very well. And that one is a great example of kind of a tweener ball that allows him to get to third.
So the numbers there. He's been a doubles machine, and that one is a little bit in. What did he tell us before the game? You had asked him about his telling Vitello, challenge the play, challenge the play. And he was right a couple of times yesterday. And then he said, but I'm usually terrible.
Yeah, I'm never good all year. But
might have got him to 50%. He was
2 for 2 yesterday. He's got 11 stolen bags.
Yeah.